Hello and kumusta, this is Artsi, and in this video, this is a message from the creators slash devs of Resident Evil Requiem to the fans of the franchise. So first off, Resident Evil Requiem was showcased again in the Capcom Spotlight a few days ago. The creators or developers of Resident Evil Requiem discussed to the fans about how the core gameplay is gonna be, why Grace Ashford is the main protagonist for the game, and how they advance the technical side for this game. Now, I'm not just gonna summarize what they explained in the Capcom showcase a few days ago, but I'm also gonna explain what they've said on the cut explanation part that wasn't included in the showcase. Now, this is just my opinion, but personally, I kinda got annoyed at that part. Like, why would Capcom cut out the part where the devs explain the details for RE Requiem? Isn't Resident Evil one of their bigger games in the company? I feel like they could have just added it since it's only a few minutes long, but I'm just ranting. So let's move on. So the game director for this game is Koshi Nakanishi-san. If some of you guys don't know who this guy is, this guy and his team was the one who revived the franchise to its former glory. He's the one who directed Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and also one of the directors for Resident Evil Revelations. This part, I got surprised. Well, anyway, he's also directing the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Requiem. So, Capcom really wants to make this game beyond successful, and I really have high hopes for this game because of him. So, Koshi Nakanishi-san and his team explains the concept for the game, which they describe it as addictive fear. It basically means the more scared you are, the more you want to play the game. Fear was their concept for Resident Evil Biohazard. Now, it's obvious that fear is a major factor in a horror game, but Resident Evil isn't really your typical horror game. And focusing on the fear aspect as the main ingredient for Resident Evil 7 is the reason why it got successful in the first place. Same with RE2 Remake, focusing on the fear aspect, but instead of the atmosphere, they focused the fear more on the gameplay, hence Mr. X. And in Resident Evil 4 Remake, which although it's more action heavy, it still conveyed a different kind of fear that's focused on tension and overall atmosphere of the game. And this time, fear is still gonna be the main ingredient for Resident Evil Requiem, but both atmosphere and gameplay at the same time. But there's one ingredient they need which is important for adding that anxiety to the game, and that's the main protagonist for the game. Now I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. Why isn't Leon or Jill the main protagonist for Resident Evil Requiem? Well, simple really, it's because they're too much of a gigachad. Koshi-san said it's difficult to make a horror game with these kinds of characters. He made an example that Leon wouldn't get scared of a bucket falling because he has years of experience dealing with these kinds of things. Same with Jill Valentine. That's the only reason they're not the main protagonist for the game. But they never mentioned removing them from the game, but still acknowledged Leon being a high candidate for being the protagonist for Requiem. If they won't be the protagonist for Requiem, at least there's a chance that they could take the role of being supporting characters like Chris Redfield from Ethan's story arc. It would feel a bit weird, but at least they're there. Personally, I like that Grace Ashford is the protagonist for the game. Not only is she perfect for the game, but it also confirms that Capcom didn't forget about the Resident Evil Outbreak series. I recommend some of you guys to play that game because it's very fun. It's a PS2 game that focuses on co-op, but in a unique way. I never finished it back then because I didn't have friends to play with, but there's a community out there who loves the game to death. Anyways, Grace Ashford's personality is perfect for the game. Being an introvert but also having the skills to handle these kinds of situations, in a way, I feel connected to the character. Maybe because she's an introvert like us, who knows. I think I covered most of what they've said on the gameplay and story point of Requiem. Now we dive on the technical side of the game. Of course, the devs again explored what they can do for the graphics for the game. So they made the game more realistic. Like with Grace's hair, instead of just using CGI for her hair, they added a wig to make the hair strands more realistic. They also pointed out that they used the character from their new IP game, Diana from Pragmata, as a reference on how her hair strand graphics are and how it moves realistically. They also changed their approach for the lighting in the game and how the character's face changed like in real life. They also mentioned like how they visualize the environment for this game, making it more metallic and noir. You can see with all the reflection in the area, making it more metallic and the area feeling a bit old school, adding more creepiness and darkness for the game. I appreciate their dedication for the game, but I hope my poor laptop can handle this game next year. Oh, by the way, if some of you guys wanna know why they named the game as Requiem, it's a remembrance for all that happened in Resident Evil. Not just in Raccoon City, but all the characters from the first Resident Evil to the current one, how they connected, what they did, how they survived, and what they did for the world. It's a simple word, but it hits very deep, especially for fans of the franchise. So I think I've summarized what they've said, and I hope you guys are excited as me for this game. If you guys wanna see me live, go watch me on Twitch. I update my schedule regularly. I play tons of games that I take interest in, from horror games to Souls-like games, to FPS, to rage games, to survival games, to RTS games, and so much more. As long as it's interesting and fun to play, I'll play it for sure. If you guys didn't know, I have another YouTube channel that's all about gaming, of course, some vods from Twitch that I uploaded here and there, and some videos that I played with my friends off stream, and some edited shorts that I post daily. I also have a TikTok if some of you guys use it. Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching and see ya on the next video. Hey, psst, did you like the video? Well, if you did, how about liking the video? On top of that, you should subscribe too. Ah, by the way, if you want more videos made by me, click here on the screen. Come on, just click it. It won't hurt ya. You won't? Okay then, fine. See you later, I guess.